What's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode. I'm George Lawrence. Today I'm going to be talking about two of the biggest mistakes that I've made. I think people see mistakes as failures, and including myself. I have so often been conditioned to see mistakes as failures, and maybe they are. Maybe there's places where we've made mistakes and that's led to failure. But to also see them as opportunities to learn. And two of the biggest mistakes that I've made, and it kind of follows on from a couple of the previous points, previous things that I've spoken about, is this inability to be present, jumping to the next thing continually. So I'm going to be real with you guys that, a lot of the things that I talk about are areas that I maybe have a bit of victory in or a bit of breakthrough, some things that I've learned to apply in my life that are working for me. But most of these things I'm still struggling with, and I'm still working through them. So please don't get the idea that I have, conquered all of these challenges, or have got these disciplines or these skills, or this way of doing things that I've got it down and I've got it sorted, and I'm just trying to preach to you guys. That's not at all what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to share things that I've learned in life, in whatever has come across my way, to hopefully shed light and share principles that'll help you guys. If you want to see more videos like this, and you're interested in this type of thing, please click subscribe. These are the type of topics, questions, things that I'm going to be talking about on this channel. If you like the video and you're getting value from it, I would love if you could like the video. It helps me tons. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please put them down in the comment box below. So, two of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my life, and it goes around being present, it goes around not jumping to the next thing, as I said. But I think the first mistake that I've made, and made it way too often, way too many times, is that I don't listen enough. I'm very quick to speak, and I love engaging with people and talking about things and getting to know people, but oftentimes I find myself not listening enough. And what do I mean by not listening? I mean about really listening to what the person is saying, and not only hearing what I want to hear or thinking about the next thing that I want to talk about. And it's something very basic, but I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that I've made, because what it does is it prohibits me from being present to what this person is saying. It prohibits me from being present to learning. So the biggest mistake that I've made is not to listen enough, to speak too much, not listen enough, and actually listen attentively. And this is something that I've learned in my relationship, specifically with my wife, that I learned that, okay, if I'm not listening properly, we end up in terrible conflict. But when I'm listening intently, I'm present to what she's saying, I often, and this is maybe a tip that you can take away, is I often repeat what I think I heard, and I ask if this is what she was saying. And this helps me to grow in listening, so that I can actually accurately hear what she's saying, but also it helps me understand where people are coming from, instead of assuming or jumping onto the next thing that I want to say. And this has helped me tremendously, not only with my wife, but it's also helped me grow good habits when listening to others. I think an important part of listening is to not assume that I know everything, and to always assume that I can learn something from somebody. I think it's one of the rules in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. And I find it very valuable to always approach a conversation, whether I know the person really well or if I don't know them at all, but to approach the conversation with a posture or an attitude that I can learn something from them always, no matter of their background or upbringing or whatever differences we may have, that I can always learn something from someone. And I think this takes a lot of humility and a lot of respect for people. And it takes from us not to be focused on ourselves, but actually to be focused on the other person, being present to them. The second mistake that I make way too often is that I don't ask enough questions. And I don't know why I do this. I don't know if it's a fear of blemishing my reputation, or this thing that I expect. I have an expectation, or I think that people have an expectation of me to know the answer. And therefore I don't ask questions, and a lot of times it gets me into, and I'm just stupid about this, it gets me into crappy situations where I act as if I know what's going on, and then I don't know what's going on, and then I don't ask the questions, and it just ends up being not a great situation. But when I look at the people around me, and the people that I've encountered in my life that I admire the most, and I'm talking about people that I have a personal connection with, not like someone that's on the internet or anything like that, but someone that I have a personal connection with, is the people that I admire the most and that probably have the most impact on my life are the guys that ask, and ladies that ask, the most questions. Because this in turn, like, it kind of follows on from the first mistake, is that you're actually interested in what is going on in someone else's life, or in a topic that we're talking about, or you're immediately you're assuming that you can learn something, and therefore you're asking questions instead of telling everybody what you know. And I think there's definitely a place for sharing wisdom, sharing knowledge, sharing thoughts and ideas, so we mustn't hold back from that. But all too often I find myself not asking enough questions, assuming that I know all that there is to know. So what I want to leave us with is that, we really need to approach each person, every situation that we're in, with respect and humility, and really esteem others higher than ourselves. And I think two ways that we can do that is by listening intently and asking questions, to actually being present to what is going on around us, to be present about what is this person saying, what are they actually telling me. And guys, for you especially, if your girlfriend or your wife or your mother or your grandmother or a friend is talking to you and it's a lady friend, listen. Listen to not what you think they're saying, but listen to what they're actually trying to tell you, because it is possible to hear what they're actually trying to tell you. And if you're not sure, just repeat what you think you heard, because that clarifies just a lot, and it sorts out a lot of conflict and a lot of confusion straight up. So yeah, if you guys have got any comments, please leave them down in the comment box below. If you have any ideas of any other topics, any other things you want to know about me, about life, any other questions that you have that you think I should address, please put them in the comment box below. It'll help me see what you guys are interested in, and also create good content. Also, if you're keen to have a chat with me, I want to chat with people about life, about politics, about God, about human nature, all these things. I want to chat with people. So if you're keen to chat with me, please comment in the box below, send me a message, reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with whoever wants to chat. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this session, and I hope you guys learned something and can apply something from this. I hope you have a great day. Peace.